Chapter 9. A Flicker of Hope. Seeds of Peace. Late May brings subtle changes to Kiev. Between air raid sirens and ongoing hardships, small signs of resilience appear. Street vendors selling flowers, cafes reopening with generators, children playing in parks during the safer daylight hours. The Ukrainian military has pushed Russian forces back from the capital's immediate surroundings, creating a fragile bubble of relative normality. In a small apartment they now share in Podol, Ivan and Nadya have transformed their living room into an operations center. Maps cover one wall, colored pins marking evacuation routes, dangerous areas, documented atrocities. Another wall displays photographs, evidence they've collected, faces of those they've helped, reminders of why they continue. As the days turns into weeks, Ivan and Nadya's efforts begin to bear fruit. Word of their work spread, whispered from person to person, a spark of hope in a war-weary nation. Their volunteer network has expanded, now semi-officially coordinating with military intelligence. Their documentation work has gained international attention, with their evidence packages cited in UN reports and foreign media. What began as improvised assistance has become structured, professional, essential. They find allies in unexpected places: a grizzled old soldier who had seen too much death, a young mother who dreamed of a better future for her children. One by one, they build a network of support, a web of courage and determination that stretches across the country. There are moments of triumph, of breakthroughs that leave them giddy with success. Like the day they managed to arrange a ceasefire in a hotly contested region, allowing aid to reach those who needed it most. Or the night they sneak across enemy lines to rescue a group of children who have been orphaned by the war. But there are also moments of heartbreak, of losses that leave them reeling. Friends who disappeared, never to be seen again. Innocent lives cut short by bullets and bombs. Each one is a wound that would never fully heal, a reminder of the terrible cost of the conflict. Through it all, Ivan and Nadya lean on each other, drawing strength from their love. They know that they are stronger together, that their bond is a force that can overcome any obstacle. But tonight, exhaustion has caught up with them. Ivan closes his laptop after 18 straight hours coordinating evacuations from eastern regions. Nadya sets down her camera after sorting through hundreds of photographs for human rights investigators. "We need a break," she says, rubbing her eyes. "Just an hour." Ivan nods, stretching his back. Even in their growing intimacy, they rarely allow themselves to step away from their work. The weight of responsibility, for evacuees, for evidence, for truth, presses constantly on their shoulders. They move to the small balcony overlooking a courtyard where stubborn roses climb a damaged wall. Ivan brings tea in chipped mugs. Nadya wraps herself in a faded blue blanket against the evening chill. Their shoulders touch as they sit on the narrow bench, a now familiar comfort. "I had a call from that BBC journalist today," Nadya says after a moment of peaceful silence, "the one using our Bucha documentation." "What did she want?" "She asked what we thought should happen after the war, what peace should look like." Nadya stares into her tea. "I didn't have an answer." Ivan considers this. Their focus has been so immediate, saving lives today, documenting crimes today, surviving today, that thinking beyond the war feels almost forbidden. "What would you want?" he asks finally. "In a perfect world?" The question opens something between them. As darkness falls and air raid sirens remain mercifully silent, they begin to imagine peace. Hesitantly at first, then with growing animation, they sketch possibilities. "Justice," Nadya starts. "Real accountability for war crimes, not just leaders, but those who carried out orders. Security guarantees," Ivan adds, "not just promises, something binding." Their conversation gains momentum, flowing from practical considerations to deeper aspirations. They discuss NATO, EU integration, reconstruction funds, border security. They debate sovereignty over Crimea, language rights, democratic reforms. "It can't just be about returning to February 23rd, Nadya argues passionately. "We need to address the underlying issues: corruption, oligarchs, the judiciary." Ivan nods, energized by thinking beyond survival for the first time in months. A Marshall Plan for Ukraine, but with oversight so the money actually reaches people. As midnight approaches, Ivan brings paper and pens to the balcony. They begin drafting concrete ideas, not just wishes, but implementable plans. Their professional backgrounds prove unexpectedly useful. Ivan's systems thinking from his programming work, Nadia's cross-cultural awareness from her international connections. We should talk to Oleksandr, Ivan suggests, referring to a constitutional law professor they helped evacuate from Kharkiv, and that economic advisor from Mariupol, and the former OSCE monitors in our network. Nadya adds, they understand security arrangements. What begins as a conversation becomes a mission. Over the following days, between their continuing evacuation and documentation work, they reach out to experts in their network, academics, lawyers, former diplomats, military analysts. Each brings perspectives, refinements, challenges to their evolving peace framework. They convene informal roundtables in safe houses and bomb shelters. They collect proposals, synthesize ideas, build consensus around core principles. Their shared vision takes shape, a peace not of surrender or compromise, but of justice, security, and renewal. Late one night, as they refine their document in their apartment, air raid sirens begin their mournful wail. With practiced efficiency, they gather their emergency bags and essential electronics. Bring the peace draft, Nadya says, securing her camera bag over her shoulder. In the shelter beneath their building, they continue working by emergency lighting. Around them, neighbors have become accustomed to their intensity, making space for their improvised workspace. A retired history teacher offers historical context for their proposals. A young tech worker suggests digital solutions for transparency in reconstruction funds. This is becoming something bigger than we intended, Ivan murmurs to Nadya as they observe the growing circle of contributors. She nods, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, a gesture he has come to love for its unconscious grace. Maybe that's exactly what we need. Not top-down peace, but built from people who've lived this war. Their relationship deepens alongside their peace work. The shared purpose creates a unique intimacy. They finish each other's sentences, anticipate each other's needs, move in synchronized patterns without discussion. What began in crisis has matured into something profound. A partnership in every sense. My grandmother would say we are dvai polovinki odnoho yabluka, two halves of the same apple. Nadya tells him one evening as they work side by side. The casual reference to a future together, to family, to permanence beyond war, makes Ivan's heart swell. In June, their peace framework gains unexpected attention. A Ukrainian diplomat visiting humanitarian operations reviews their draft and arranges a meeting with government advisors. Suddenly, their grassroots proposal is being discussed in official circles. The night before their meeting in a secure government facility, anxiety keeps them both awake. They stand together by their apartment window, watching distant flashes of air defense systems intercepting drones. Do you think anyone will actually listen? Ivan asks, voicing the doubt that has shadowed their work. Nadya turns to him, her face half illuminated by the city's dimmed lights. They have to, because we're not just speaking for ourselves, we're speaking for Katerina and baby Miroslav, for the old professor from Bucha, for everyone we've documented, evacuated, mourned. She reaches up, her palm warm against his cheek. The tenderness of the gesture contrasts with the strength in her voice. This is why we survived, Ivan. To bear witness, yes, but also to help build what comes after. He covers her hand with his own, turning to kiss her palm, a gesture of reverence for her courage, her vision, her unwavering humanity in the face of horror. Whatever happens tomorrow, he says softly, this work has changed me. You have changed me. We've changed each other, she corrects, moving closer. Their embrace is both comfort and promise. Acknowledgement of how far they've come from that first day in the cafe when invasion seemed theoretically possible but still unimaginable. Now, having witnessed the worst of humanity, they dare to imagine its best potential. Summer dreams. The meeting with their network of peacemakers exceeds their cautious expectations. The peace framework, particularly its emphasis on justice, security guarantees, and civil society involvement in reconstruction, resonates with officials seeking alternatives to traditional diplomatic approaches. Your proposal bridges the gap between high-level negotiations and grassroots needs, a senior advisor tells them. Would you be willing to develop it further, perhaps present it in international forums? The question leaves them momentarily speechless. Their document, born on a small balcony during a rare moment of rest, has opened doors they never anticipated. That evening, they walk along the Dnipro River, processing the day's events. The summer sunset gilds the water, almost making it possible to forget the war, until an air raid siren starts, sending them and other pedestrians hurrying toward shelters. In the metro station serving as a bomb shelter, surrounded by Kievans with their resignation to interrupted lives, Ivan takes Nadya's hand. "Today was just the beginning," he says. "If we're really going to do this, advocate internationally, speak to diplomats, we need to be prepared for pushback, for compromise, for failure." Nadya's eyes hold the same determination he first saw when they organized evacuations from Irpin. "We've been documenting war crimes for months. I'm not afraid of diplomatic fights." The all-clear sounds 40 minutes later. As they emerge into the evening air, Ivan stops suddenly on the metro steps, turning to Nadya. "I love you," he says simply. Not in whispers during stolen moments of intimacy, not in the implied language of shared danger and purpose, but plainly, publicly, with the certainty of something tested and proven. Nadya's smile blooms slowly, transforming her tired face. "I know," she answers, then, rising on tiptoes to kiss him briefly, "I love you too. Now let's go home and plan how to save our country." The weeks that follow bring new dimensions to their work. Their peace proposal gains traction in civil society circles. They're invited to virtual meetings with European think tanks, with diaspora organizations, with international legal experts. Each conversation refines their thinking, strengthens their arguments, expands their network. Their relationship, too, continues to deepen. In rare moments between air raids and meetings, they share dreams of after, a concept that once seemed forbidden is now a source of strength. They speak of traveling together to reconstruct Nadya's abandoned travel blog, of Ivan teaching coding to children, of visiting peaceful places they've only seen in photographs. Nadya's eyes sparkle as she describes her longing to visit Japan. She dreams of strolling through the tranquil gardens of Kyoto, of marveling at the cherry blossoms in spring. She imagines herself in an elegant kimono, learning the ancient arts of tea ceremony and calligraphy. "I want to soak in the hot springs," she sighs wistfully, "and taste every kind of sushi until I can't eat another bite." Ivan smiles, picturing Nadya in the neon glow of Tokyo's streets, her face lit up with wonder and joy. He squeezes her hand, promising silently that someday he'll make that dream a reality. For Ivan, it's the vast expanses of South America that call to him. He longs to trek through the lush Amazon rainforest, to stand in awe before the ancient ruins of Machu Picchu. He dreams of learning to surf on the beaches of Brazil, of dancing the tango in the streets of Buenos Aires. "Imagine the stories we could tell," he muses, his eyes distant with longing. "The people we could meet, the adventures we could have." Nadya leans her head on his shoulder, her heart full with the thought of sharing those adventures with him. She pictures them on a beach in Rio, sipping caipirinhas as the sun sets over the ocean. She imagines them wandering the colorful Atacama Desert, hand in hand, without a care in the world. These dreams, once so distant, now feel tantalizingly close. They are a reminder of what they're fighting for, not just survival, but the chance to truly live, to explore and marvel at the beauty of the world. In these moments of shared longing, Ivan and Nadya draw strength from each other. They know that the road ahead is long, that there will be more hardships to endure, but they also know that their love, their bond, is unbreakable, and so they hold fast to their dreams, to the vision of a future filled with wonder and adventure. They picture themselves in far-off lands, free from the shadows of war, discovering new joys and new aspects of each other. These dreams are more than just an escape. They are a promise, a vow to each other and to themselves, a pledge that they will survive, that they will triumph, and that they will live the life they've always imagined. Hand in hand, heart to heart, they face the uncertain future, secure in the knowledge that their love can conquer anything. And that someday, when the war is just a painful memory, they will set out together to make their wildest dreams come true. Whether it's under the cherry blossoms of Japan or on the beaches of Brazil, Ivan and Nadya know that the greatest adventure of all is the one they'll share together. And they can't wait to begin. Heritage. One night in early July, Ivan wakes to find Nadya sitting by their window, illuminated by her laptop's glow. "What are you working on?" he asks, voice rough with sleep. "Adding the section on cultural recovery," she replies. "Preserving Ukrainian heritage, rebuilding museums and historical sites." He moves to stand behind her, hands whatever comes after. Whatever peace we help build, we'll be together in it. The simplicity of her certainty fills Ivan with a warmth that transcends the summer night. In a war that has destroyed so much, they have found something unbreakable. In documenting atrocities, they have discovered capacity for hope. In planning for peace, they have built their own future. Together, he agrees, sealing the word with a kiss that promises beyond war, beyond reconstruction, into the life they're already building amid the ruins of the old world. Outside, Kyiv breathes in momentary peace, the summer stars visible in a rare night without air raid sirens. Inside, two people who found each other in darkness continue imagining light, news, and slowly, incredibly, things begin to change. The fighting begins to die down, the rhetoric on both sides softening. There are whispers of peace talks, of a possible end to the bloodshed. Ivan and Nadya hardly dare to hope, but they can't help the fluttering in their hearts. Could it be possible? Could their dream of a united, peaceful Ukraine finally be within reach? One evening, as they sit together in the candlelight of a dark, rainy November night, a knock comes at the door. They tense, reaching instinctively for their weapons. But when they open the door, they find not an enemy, but a friend. It is Oleksandr, a fellow activist who has been working tirelessly for peace. His face is lined with exhaustion, but his eyes sparkle with excitement. "I have news," he says, his voice trembling. "The government, the separatists, they've agreed to talk, a real official peace conference, and they want you there, both of you." For a moment, Ivan and Nadya can only stare at him, their eyes wide with shock and disbelief, their hearts pounding. Then, as the reality sinks in, they fall into each other's arms, tears of joy streaming down their faces. A peace conference? After all this time, all this bloodshed, it seems too good to be true. "Where?" Ivan asks, his voice hoarse. "The Mariinsky Palace," Oleksandr replies, a smile spreading across his face. "In 2 weeks." Nadya feels her heart leap in her chest. This is it. The moment they have been fighting for, the chance to bring an end to this terrible war. She turns to Ivan, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "We did it," she whispers. "We really did it." Ivan pulls her close, his own eyes glistening. "Yes, Moya Lyubov, my love," he murmurs. "We're going to do it. This is just the beginning." It is indeed happening. After all the pain and sacrifice, all the long nights and endless battles, peace is finally, truly within their grasp. In the days that follow, they throw themselves into preparations for the conference, honing their arguments, gathering their allies. They know that this is their chance, their one shot at shaping the future of their nation. And when the day finally comes, when they walk hand in hand into the negotiating room, they are ready to fight for their vision of a Ukraine free from hatred and division, ready to build a future where their love and the love of all those who have sacrificed can finally blossom in the light of a new dawn. The road ahead will not be easy. There will be setbacks and compromises, hard choices and painful truths. But Ivan and Nadya know that they can face anything as long as they have each other. Their love has brought them this far. It has sustained them through the darkest of times, guided them towards the light. And now, as they stand on the brink of a new chapter, they know that it will be their love that will lead them home. Home to a Ukraine reborn, a nation healed and whole once more. Home to a future where their children and their children's children can live and love and dream without fear. Hand in hand, heart to heart, they step forward into that future, ready to meet it together. For they are Ivan and Nadya, two souls joined by a love that can reshape the world. And together, they will build the peace, one brave act, one courageous choice at a time.